Shalom. Hello. Hey. Um, I'm going to talk about. Hello. Shalom. Hey. I'm going to talk about my visit to Israel. And it have not been anything that I have thinking that I have wanted to visit. It's have not been in my will, and I have not had that kind of money to visit Israel. So I come back from United States after being homeless in 3.5 years in United States. I come back to Sweden in May 4, 2004, and I was very sick in my body, and I was in the hospital for 1 week because I have no blood in me. All my blood was gone, so they did a transfusion. I get new blood in me, and then I have no home to come to. I have to sleep in a small cottage out on a camping place, and I have nothing when I come back from United States. And when I come back to Sweden, I relax from everything I have been through in the United States. So when I started to relax, and it was hard because I have no bank card in Sweden. I have no bank account in Sweden, and I was cut off from everything. I didn't have any acceptable ID. I have nothing. I have to start over in my own country, and I be more and more sick in my body, and then I started to get my psoriasis, and it started to be all over my skin, even in the face, and when I wake up in the morning, it was blood all over the bed, and I go in depression also because I couldn't get in the food, vitamins and minerals that I should have in my body, so I go in depression. And I was the most sick. I was in psoriasis, and my psoriasis is going into the joint in the shoulder, in my legs, in my knees, my feet. It's go very much pain, and it 2010, 11, sometimes I couldn't walk in stairs, and I could suddenly stop in the city when I was walking, and suddenly I can't go one step more. It's so much pain, and so suddenly one day in 2011, I heard a voice from heaven telling me that I should go to Israel, and I was thinking that's impossible. with this condition I am in, I can't travel at all. But I must obey God. What He's telling me, I have to do it. And this is how God is, how we should react, act on what God is telling. You have to do it immediately. You should not stop and wait and I can't do it another day. I can do it when I have time, or like this. I could have said that to God, no, stop, because I can't go there because I can't walk. And but I was looking on internet, and I find a church in Sweden, far away from me, but their pastor in that church, he have lived in Israel for many years. So I was thinking that this church and the pastor, he should travel with us. He should tell us and know everything about Israel. That's the best guide. And I was thinking that I can't go by myself because I don't know Hebrew. I thought they only speak Hebrew in Israel. So I signed up to this church to go with them to Israel. But I have not the money to go there. But in faith, I sign up. And then the money have to come later on. And God have told me already in 2010 that I should have cat, that I should breed kittens. So it could have been 0 kittens. It could be. I had 1 female cat, and when I have signed up the paper, my cat got 6 kittens. So that was much money. That was enough to pay for the traveling. But then I was thinking I needed money to be at the hotel and be there in Israel, pocket money, and I want to buy something also there. And suddenly it come an envelope, and I have never had it before. That the tax collector, they wrote me and say I had paid in too much money. Suddenly, and that was 6-7 years ago, just when I come back. So I maybe was confused in my brain, I don't know. So I pay in too much tax. And so I got the money from there also. And then we should go to Israel in 7 days. We should be in Israel 7 days. And then they say that it was something wrong with the hotel. So we could only be there in 6 days. So they lower the price. So everything coming together. And so I could travel to Stockholm and then lay at the hotel and wait for this group to come, because they were not close to my city. I have to go there. And we fly to Israel, and we were supposed to walk every day in Israel. And it was about 100 degrees in Israel. And it come that I was sitting with one of the pastor for that church. He was sitting on the side of me, and he took up a package, and it was a Bible that he opened up. It was a new that he had bought. And I asked him, do you have the red letters in your Bible? I'd say. He looked at me, he didn't know what it was. I say that's in some Bibles is it red letters where Jesus was talking. So it's easy to see where he was talking. And he didn't have that. And we talked a little on the flight. And then when the airplane come down in Tel Aviv, when we arrived, just when the airplane hit the ground, I was healed. My body was healed. I have no pain, nothing. It went off me when I come to Israel. And but I was still weak in my body, and of course I had my psoriasis, my bleedings over the skin, but no pain in my joint. And then first time, and of course the church, they have very expensive hotel, Jewish hotel, and of course the pastors they were in the luxury hotels that I couldn't afford to have that kind of hotel, but mine was luxury also, but not like theirs. And the first night in the hotel room, I was looking out in the window. I was up maybe 4 or 5 floors up, and I look out over Jerusalem, and I thank God. I stood at the window and I was talking to God and crying, and was thankful that He had taken me to Israel. And then I was going down in the bed, and suddenly just when I should go down in the blanket, I saw a red number lighted up on the wall, and I was so high up, so there could have not been any sign outside or nothing, because I was too high up for the streets lights to come into the. And I understood immediately what it was saying to me, because there were 21, it was say in red numbers, like that I talked to the pastor about. So I knew my Bible had these red words, letters. So I counted every time Jesus had say something in the Bible, I read, and I counted 19, 20, 21, and when I look at 21, it was this about the woman that had bleeding for 12 years, that Jesus said that she was healed because of her faith. And I heard it in the United States once, a pastor say that he heard from God that I have 100% faith. So I knew I had 100% faith. And then Jesus said that with that number that was light up on the wall, 21, that because of faith I was healed, and I was healed. I had no no pain in my body. And then we started to walk every day. And I was not in good condition, so I was always the last one they have to wait for me. And the other people, most of the people was about 30 years old, and we were walking in 100 degrees, over 100 degrees, and we didn't have a bus. We had bus sometimes, but we had to walk very, very much, many hours per day. But then in the end of our 6 days in Israel, one day suddenly the group was standing and look around and said, "Where is Eva? Where is Eva?" I said, "Did she come with you?" Like that. "Have you seen her?" And I said, "Hello, I'm here." I was one of the first that come to the goal we had. I have been completely healed, and my body was better than the young people in the group. This was fun, and we had a guide with us all the time, and they show us Jerusalem and the old city, and we were at the wall also. And Villa de la Rosa, and people ask, was it here Jesus was walking on Villa de la Rosa? They ask, and the guys say, they don't really know where exactly, because Villa de la Rosa is a long road, street. And we come to other places, and people ask if it was really there. It happened in the Bible. So I started to understand that they don't really know exactly this with the Bible, but they want the money. So it's like making up stories very much. Some of it is true, but many things they don't know for sure. They only want the money from the tourist people. And then I was wondering why we were in Catholic Church the whole time. And we were going to Nazareth, and and we didn't go to that church where Jesus used to go to. I only saw it up in the mountain, but we were not there. We were to the Catholic Church. But we were once in Bethlehem, and we had to wait in that church. It was an Orthodox, it was 3 churches in one. And we have to wait. There was very much people, and when we should go to down to where they say that was that place where Jesus was born. So we go into the crypt now, and we were standing in a line, very, very much people, and the biggest Orthodox, Middle East Orthodox men, they have sticks, so they hit people if they was talking. We have to be quiet. But I have just got a friend when we're standing and waiting for to come in there, a woman from Africa, and she and we started to sing when we come in to that place where we're standing in line and should go down in the crypt. And we start to sing, she and I. And they didn't hit us. They didn't hit us. And when we come to the step where we should go down in the crypt, she stopped to sing, but I started to speak in tongue. I was speaking a new language when I walked down there. And that language I have when I'm going into the spirit. Sometimes you can hear that I speak something that you don't understand. And I don't understand either. I get picture when I am in that talking in tongue. I get picture so I can understand what I'm saying. But my friend from Africa, she looked at me. What? She don't understand why I changed from singing and I was talking about Bashabat. So the whole way down to in the crypt. And then I have kept that language from 2011. And one day the pastor said that we are going to leave Jerusalem now. We are going to Tyburn, to that lake where Jesus was walking on the water. And we had a hotel there in that city. And when we were going that morning, I said to God, I want so badly do what Jesus did. How can we do it? I said to God, I want to heal one person in Jerusalem before we leaving. And it happened that just at the board of we were in Jerusalem, but only some meters from going out from Jerusalem. There was a church, a Catholic church, and I started to be tired of going into the Catholic church. So I sit outside and wait for the other to come back from the church. And then suddenly it come a man and sat down on the side of me, and he started to talk a little, and an Asian man, and he said that he had very much pain in his back. And I said, I can help you, because I have got the gift of healing, I say to him. So he said that I could do that, and I lay hand on him, and he was healed from his back pain. So that I thought it was over, that I should never could lay a hand on a person, so I could be the same as Jesus had done. And God granted me to could do it. Just perfect timing. And then we were up to Tyburn, and we were going to, I forget those names, but that city where Jesus was feeding the people with those fishes and bread. You know where it is. And we were up there, and also there it was a woman that, as we were two people that was in a bad condition with our bodies. Those other was laying in a tent. Those young people were laying in a tent, but we got a room to share, and she was laying in the bed and was yelling and saying, I had so much pain, I had so much pain. And I said to her, I can help you. I said to her, and I lay hand on her, and then we fall to sleep. And then Capernaum, were we in Capernaum, and we were sitting and talking, the whole group, and she said, here in Capernaum, I was healed here in Capernaum, she said to the group. And they were very happy because they thought it was when they were praying together in the group that she was healed. But she never told what happened that evening when she was going to sleep. I lay hand on her and she was healed. And that's what's happened. People don't tell. So other people don't know. So it's so very hard to be allowed to lay hand on people because no one is telling about that I can solve the problem. And I solved the problem for me by healing a young woman at the hospital. So I got the medicine for psoriasis in 2015, so I could be healed by myself, technical, because she was healed, and the doctor saw that I healed her, and I got the medicine for it. So, and then I was very close to this pastor that was the most famous Pentecostal pastor. And I didn't know why God was so hurried to make me go to Israel. But then I found out 1 year later, this pastor said that he had converted to be Catholic. So he was stopped to be in the Pentecostal church. So that was the last time I could be so close to this pastor. That was one of the leaders of the Pentecost churches in Sweden. So that's why. But this pastor, he only laughed at me, at everything I say. And one day when we were in Bethlehem, we should go to this Dead Sea. We should go to the Dead Sea, and I didn't have a blanket because I wanted to go into the water because I wanted to see if it could help my psoriasis. And so we stopped at the store, and I asked in the store, do you have any, not blanket, towel? Do you have any towel to sell? But that was a souvenir place. And this pastor, he laughed. You can ask your God to bring a towel for you, he say, and laugh in front of everyone. And I asked this Arabic man if he had a towel to sell. And he had a towel and gave me it. And the pastor, he walked away very fast from the situation. And I still have it. And and that was the first time. Then 2013, then I heard again from heaven that I should go to Israel, and I should meet a Messianic church in Tel Aviv. And I was thinking I want to go to Kalabal, that religious view. And in Tel Aviv it should be the office there, the main place. And I was around in Tel Aviv, and then one day I come by the big Jewish synagogue, the biggest in Israel, and I was thinking that I have nothing on my head, and I was not in that kind of clothes to visit a synagogue. And I asked the security guard if I could go in like I was. And he said, that's okay. He laughed at me because I was so scared to go in there. So I went into that synagogue, and there come the rabbi. He come to me and said, welcome. He said, come with me, he said. And then he put me in that, it's like a square where the rabbi and those holy men is sitting, where no one, that area should no one come in that is not a holy person. And he took me into that place, and then he read in Hebrew for me from the paper he had, and that we sit together, and he blessed me, and that was the highest rabbi in Israel that I sit side by side with in that area where you can't walk in. And he took me in there, and that's also, but he never asked me where I come from, why. He only felt that he should take me in there without any nice clothes. And that was one of the main things why I should go to Israel in that time, 2013. And then also, I had not the money, so I was in the cheapest hotel I could get in Tel Aviv, only to have somewhere to sleep. So the Messianic church, they called the hotel and asked if I were there. And they told them that I was there, but it was, they were thinking that I had no money, so they didn't come and visit me, and they say that I should come to their church. So that shows also that they think I have no value because I was not wealthy, rich. And then I was also going, I passed by a big luxury hotel, a very, very expensive hotel. And I went in there because I have to go to the bathroom. So I go in there and I have nice clothes on me. So they never look at me that I was coming from out of the street, that I was one guest there. And then I met some of those most famous pastors from United States, and they were in this expensive hotel, spending their money on the most luxury food, expensive food and everything. And I met them and talked to them, but they ignored me because they asked me where I lived, and I told them, and they knew it was not a good hotel. So that's also make me to test these people, that they ignore me because I was not have not so much money, and that's is so wrong. But that have I been into before, that I am ignored because I don't look like I am nothing. So they don't care about people. They can't get money from something from you. And when I was homeless in United States, when I was outside the church and waiting for something to happen, they come and say to me, I will pray for you. I say, I can pray for myself to God. And I hate to hear they say, I will pray for you, like I didn't know God. And that's how I felt in Tel Aviv when I was there. And I didn't find the Kabbalah place either. So, and that's also that God, to go to Israel, I have to have this supernatural payout from God. And it was this, that money is coming in from different places that I didn't expect. I win something, this sort of things. And then to 2016, it was there again that I should go to Israel and do something. And I didn't know what I should do. I should meet the person, God said, and in Israel. And he told me the name, and Benjamin Sedaka. I know that, but I didn't take contact with Benjamin. And then it was a person that gave me money because he couldn't go to Israel, but he wanted me to show live broadcasting from Israel, and then I should buy him a trumpet of horn to blow in, and so I got money from him so I could go there, and it was not expected. I'm wondering, how can I get money for go to Israel? But then I get the answer, and I went there and come to that hotel I should live in, and I asked them for a telephone, And then I asked them, I'm going to meet a man, and I told them the name, and the man at the hotel, he knew that person, and he said, "What? Are you going to him?" "Yes," I say, "but can you find his telephone number?" I say to him. And I got the telephone and I called Benjamin, and Benjamin's answer, and I say, "God have told me that I should meet you." I say, "How did you know I was here?" I didn't know. He was a busy, very busy man. That he is traveling all over the world. But he was at home when I was there. And he told me that I could come next day to his home. So I took a taxi to his home. And that's also this meeting of a man that could have changed, helped me to send out a message to the world. And Benjamin Sedaka, he's an author. He writes he is in this Israeli Samarian group, people, a small group that claim that they were with Moses in the desert. And I come to his home, and he had translate their Torah. They have their own Torah. They follow the Jewish Torah, but they have their own also story. And he had translated to English, and he traveled around the world to sell this book. And he sits in his office and look at me and say, why did you come to me? He said, I say, God told me that your name and say that I should go to your home and meet you. But but how did you know where I lived? He said to me, no, I only knew that you lived in Israel. Then at the hotel, I asked for your telephone number. I can't find it in the Hebrew telephone books. So they did it. And he looked and he only laughed at me. And I said, I want you to write my book, I said to him. And he said, I have write the book of my lifetime, my life work. So I am done with writing. So he didn't want to write my book. And suddenly I say, you are from Egypt, I say to him. And he said, how do you know that? He said to me, God told me. He didn't believe that God was talking, that God was with us in his office. And he only laughed and think it was strange what I'm talking about. So I was there 2 times because I should go to their library museum in Holon in Israel, and but it didn't be that way. A taxi driver that go with me, he said, "Oh, you're going to this man is one of the most famous in Israel person. And he walk in with me to Benjamin Sidaka's home and wanted to greet him and shake hands. And that's what I should do in Israel 2016. And then I also find out at their hotel, I go with the bus, city bus, and on the bus stop at the hotel, I saw it was Rothschild Street, Rothschild Avenue, it says. And I saw that because I go with a bus that on Rothschild Avenue, it was all over Tel Aviv, the whole Tel Aviv, a very wide street. And I was wondering, why is it this so special? So when I come back to Sweden, I'm wondering, I look up what is Rothschild. And Rothschild is this the world's financial economy network. That's how dictate the whole world we are in now. That is nothing that we, the common person, know about, but digging in what's going on in the world today, there is Rothschild family. They own everything. You can't put a number of how much wealth they have. They own everything. And that I learned from that. And also, I have told you about that in another video, that I was in the museum in Jerusalem in that time also. And God told me that I should do my DNA. So I find out that I am from that area, from Palestine area in North Israel. My ancestors coming from there. That's why I'm not so blonde and Nordic in my face, and that's it have been reason why I should visit Israel every time, to come to talk to these people that could help me to change my life in that way, that I could tell what God want to tell the world, and they could spread it. But no one have done that, because they don't believe that a woman can be picked by God. They sit and wait for a man to come, when God is so he doing the best, but do it and have a woman walking to these men to check out how they react. And they don't react because they believe that there is only a man that holds the priesthood, that is the holy one, not a woman. But why should Jesus come to men when it was men that put him on the cross, to men that killed him? Why should he, when he come back, that's very stupid, to go back to those men that killed him. Why should he? Of course, he's smart enough to come back to women. You know, in the Bible, he was very good friends with all the women. Whatever the man was looking at them, see them, that men put them down. The women in Jesus' time, they couldn't. They were not free. They were slaves. The women, when they were walking outside, they had to look down. They couldn't look up and not look in the eyes of men. That was forbidden. And they couldn't even talk to their man. They had to ask for permission from the man to talk to their own husband or their son. They couldn't talk freely to a man, a person in any age. They had to have, or else they could be kicked out from their family, and when they were kicked out from the family, were kicked out from the village also. They lost everything. It could kill them if they had been brave enough to talk. And that's what Peter said, that women should not talk in the church. It was that time, culture and tradition, that women was low as dogs. They had no own will. They were slaves under their men. And Jesus come there and talked to these women. So why should he come back and talk to the man? That's why it's so many women today that feel that they are called out to go and talk about the good news. They have this inside them. They have, in the end, in the last days, I will pour out my spirit all over this, all over all people, men, women, in any age, in whatever condition you are in. The plan for God now it started. I get contact with God. Now in this end of days, you should not let men dictate for you what to believe, what to think, or what to say, because I have picked you in this end of time, because time doesn't exist in heaven. I have picked you to do more work than you do. He's talking to you now, you that watching here. Whenever you watch it, he's talking to you. He said, it's so great. He said, I have a bigger plan for you. And he talking to women now. I have a bigger plan for you. So why are you still carrying the child in you? It's time for you to give birth. Be more creative, more widespread what you have inside you. The baby must go out before winter are coming. It's your time now. Don't listen to the old tradition and culture. Now we run out of time. My clock is telling me. So the winter is soon coming. And you have to take out your child. You have to give birth. Thank you for watching. I hope you understand this last message, because God was talking to you, not to me, because I have given birth. So, thank you, and God bless you.